Wow, it's nice. I do have a ring light here, but I don't think I really need it. So, yeah, I've got bounce from the sun. Um, and the way the door is open here, so pardon me if there's any background noise. Because, hey, we're drinking outside. It's definitely summer in Amsterdam. Summer has sprung, although it's technically still spring. Um, but yeah, nice, huh? Hence the drinking outside edition. I don't know if anybody's going to join me for this uh, episode, for this edition, but I thought, hey, let's celebrate because it is June and I just had my wedding anniversary, which is great. Isaac, nice to see you. And uh, so we went to Leiden, which I never really. Yeah, good evening. Hey, we get some of the usual suspects here. Uh, okay, start a meeting. No, you go there, YouTube. So it is technically like outdoors here because I got the window open, the door open, and I'm drinking. So Prost. Over 1 week. I'm turning so Dutch. In 1 week, I will be vaccinated, ingeënt, and that's the plan anyway. I've signed up for a slot, and they offered me Johnson and Johnson, the vaccine J&J, otherwise known as VJJ. And hi everyone, Sante. And so yeah, I'm expecting there might be some side effects. I've heard friends getting Johnson and Johnson and saying that for like 24 hours afterward, they felt a lot of side effects. But you know, okay, that's the cost of having mRNA little microbes jumping in and doing their thing. So anyway, I like it. It's worth it. Is it slightly distracting to have that? There we go. We got two metal sculptures now in the background. So you get like the fingerprint, or you like the, it's actually a matchbox over on this side to answer those questions. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Oh yeah, the J&J chip, Schlibber. Nice to have you. But regarding your comment on, on Twitter earlier, I am not allowed to share that on this YouTube video unless I want it to be taken down for misinformation. But anyway, it does seem like I'm living above a bar, or this is like a bar. I'm living in front of a bar, a metal bar, or two. And anyway, so Mark Rutte got vaccinated. The prime minister wore a like incognito outfit to get vaccinated. I'm not sure what he was trying to say with that. He wore, you know, like a baseball cap and just like a sweatshirt. Got himself vaccinated, and I saw that picture pass by like 3 times on social media, and then I realized, oh, that's the prime minister. Oh, that's a big deal. That's nice. And yeah, it's true. Schlipper says I live in a modern art gallery. This is the home of my father-in-law, so indeed, he's got a lot of precious modern art on the wall. Yeah, it's a matchbox. Sorry, I can just lean this a little bit that way. And it could be interpreted as a really crazy piano interior, like that one episode of Rick and Morty with Pickle Rick. At the end, they have like a fake cliffhanger. Tune in next time when the pianist has them tied up to the cables. Anyway, yeah, I'm done. Anyway, so questions? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm just kind of celebrating my marriage. Just turned 21, so we can now drink alcohol in the United States. And I know you'd think that Mark Rutte could have used the photo op for more PR, but yeah, it's a bit bizarre. Has our health minister Hugo de Jonge, has he been vaccinated yet? I haven't seen that photo yet. Maybe he's a couple of years younger. Andy de Vrede, good evening to you. And so, yeah, we don't know. We're left to wonder what year was Hugo de Jonge? And anyway, and will there be a new health minister? So I watched this documentary on Dutch television about the strange crossover between the yoga teacher, spiritual coach demographic and right-wing populist politicians like Thierry Baudet and Forum for Democracy in the Netherlands. And so this one documentary filmmaker, Sunny Bergman, she, has a lot of yoga people like in her circles, and was surprised to find how many admitted or like proudly announced that they voted for the vaccine denier, climate denier in chief. And so yeah. So sorry, Schliber asks the question. Let's get to the questions. Does the health minister have to be healthy? Because that would be discrimination. And I suppose that would be, isn't the health minister of like Belgium pretty obese? And that, seems like, well, okay, I guess she really must know her stuff. And either to overcome such a situation, or is it like, no, I've got firsthand experience. She might be the military minister, so I'm just making shit up at this point. But that is a good rhetorical question. I hope I have yes-anded. Oh, yes, in Belgium, says Lauterbell. Okay, thanks. So, yeah, good for her. Schliber, look up the healthcare minister. I guess that's a question for you. See, you're just getting yourself in trouble here. But yeah, I was having some tough time sleeping last night. It was actually too warm. And oh yeah, that's a good question. Does the prime minister have to have Amazon Prime? I mean, if you admit that Jeff Bezos is basically the prime minister, then yeah. Someone broke a glass. I believe that, yes, you heard that correctly. That happened outside. And I think that was my neighbor. Yep, that was what's her face. Yes, mine. That's her name. Yeah, glasses be breaking. I got my dog doing the best to clean up all the plastic bottles, but sometimes she finds a glass bottle and one that's broken, and I'm like, don't try to pick that up. She's only got one hand, and that's her mouth. I call it her face hand, and it damages easily. So I'll make a video of that next. You'll see. She's amazing. And I can imagine, since I was on a mini holiday in Leiden for the past couple days, there wasn't a whole lot of garbage around, but there wasn't a whole lot to clean up. But I can imagine in Amsterdam and then the public parks, I will be having a lot to clean up. All right, Gladius is with us. Thanks for joining. I don't know. Does the defense minister have to be a soldier? Does the minister of foreign affairs have to be a foreigner? Yeah, these are all great rhetorical questions. Sigrid Kaag is now the foreign minister in the Netherlands, and she's married to someone who originated outside the Netherlands. I mean, I guess maybe that helps. I think it does, actually. Anyway, Lord of Garbage, I'm not sure what we're referring to there, but, oh, Lord of Garbage. Oh, that's me. Yeah, cleaning up the garbage. As usual, I'm answering questions of like 3 different threads at the same time. So wait, I was talking about how I had trouble sleeping last night because it was too warm. And every time I have trouble sleeping lately, it's just like open season for my most negative thoughts preying on my wounded ego. Sometimes I actually have to wake myself up and be like, hey, go easy on yourself, man. But I had a dream that I was in an improv ensemble with like a bunch of very talented people, and we all believed in this philosophy of teamwork and making your partner look good on stage. And then they all went on to be famous and getting jobs in TV and movies. And, you know, I'm can't even get a job doing stand up in Amsterdam. And then I woke up and realized, oh, that's true. Oh, fuck my life. It's not that bad. No, I had to wake myself up and say, like, hey, relax, man. Still got a lot. I've got a lot going for me. Uh, I like cleaning up the garbage. Maybe I could get paid. I mean, I could easily get paid for doing that. Actually, if you're really drunk in the Netherlands, they will pay the drunks to work on the cleanup crews, and they will pay them in beer. So I've heard. Or maybe it was just a pilot project, but I think they're still doing that. So, hey, I might have a new, if all else fails, I can just work on the garbage cleanup crews. Anyway, wait, now I see some messages are being redacted. Thanks, I will be easy on myself. I also realized that, like, if the job of the improv troupe was to make your partner look good on stage, and all these guys like Seth Meyers and Jordan Peele and Jason Sudeikis ended up pulling the spotlight all upon themselves, they did a shitty job. Fuck them. Or I did a very good job at making them look good on stage. And, you know, they just couldn't do as good a job of making me look good on stage. So they got called up to Hollywood and New York, and I'm still here. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Well, part of my wedding anniversary was like going through old journal entries that, you know, we have a sort of a constitution, and we write in that when we have our getaways and, you know, have check-ins. Yeah, the best gets the least. Yeah. It's anyway, but yeah, there was a point actually where my career was really like heating up around 99 or 2000, and then I was, you know, getting married and having a baby. So I kind of said no to a lot of things, and I just wonder what would have happened if I had turned into that lifestyle where I'm home for 3 months, gone for 3 months, home for 6 weeks, then gone for another 2 months, and I'm that kind of, you know, itinerant father. I guess I'm glad I'm not doing that. But anyway, so let's get to some of your held for review questions, like Isaac, who asked at 11 past, anything but the Sputnik vaccine. I don't trust the Russians as far as I can throw them. I don't want this video to be removed by Facebook, so let's just leave that held for review. But I'm glad I said it out loud. Hey, YouTube algorithm, listen to me negating that potential misinformation. Even if Sputnik is on offer when I go in next Tuesday, if I'm there and getting ready to be vaccinated and they are like, oh, sorry, we don't have the vaccine you expected, here's a different one, I'll say, yeah. Like, how many people would... Is this really... I mean, I guess this is happening sometimes. People are showing up and then, oh, you know, I'm a female who's under 60. I don't want AstraZeneca. Well, that's all we've got. And then, like, well, then I'll make a new appointment. I'm not getting any vaccine. I can imagine for myself, if I'm there and they want to give me a different vaccine, I'll take the other vaccine. Anyway, let me see if I can get to another actual question. Yes, I do live in a modern art about a gallery. It is a thumbprint behind me in a matchbox. We got to the healthcare minister of Belgium, And it is Belgium after all. Do they really need a government? I mean, not for, 400 days at a time. What is the record that they set for having no functional government? And no one really noticed the difference. Anyway, does the defense minister have to be a soldier? Great. Mardax, message retracted. Mardax. Let's see. Missed you in Leiden. Isaac was in Den Haag today. Beautiful cities to be in. And again, I will mention that Leiden, I've been to Leiden. I've been there by car. I've been there by train. I've been there by bike. I mean, train and then bike. And on foot, I guess. I've been to different sides of the train station, the bioscience park, and whatever. Oh, Mardax retyped it. Okay, that's good. Oh, we can see me in my Mac. I know, there's a reflection in there. That's my father-in-law's Mac. I think it's probably recording me as well. Yeah, everybody's. Oh, the light never. Yeah, the light is never on, but that doesn't mean it's not recording. Anyway, but Leiden is beautiful in terms of the festing. The old city walls or the old city defenses, basically. And my wife found a hotel that is right on the old city walls and defenses, is by the Morse port, and it's called Hotel Morse. Actually, it was great. I had to remind myself, during the siege of Leiden, when the Spanish were there, camped out around the city, they would have been on the other side of this little moat of water, and then I was like, hey, my wife who grew up in the Netherlands, wasn't that the siege that was broken by Willem van Oranje, breaking the dikes open, flooding the Spanish army that was surrounding Leiden, and then sailing in reinforcements to the besieged city of Leiden? And she said, yeah, I don't know. I didn't study that, this, like I did as an immigrant at the inburgeringscursus. So I thought that was a great lesson from history, and that's why on the 3rd of October, the city of Leiden still has their huge Independence Day festival, which is really the only Independence Day festival in the Netherlands. The Plakkaat van Verlatingen, the Dutch Declaration of Independence, was signed and delivered to the Spanish king in July of 1581, and yet that date of July, everybody's on holiday. So Dutch people don't want to celebrate Independence Day then. They're already in Mallorca. So they do King's Day. They do Queen's Day or King's Day, depending on who's on the throne. And now it's King Willem, who just got his vaccination today. So now we're back to current day. But anyway, what else? We all love the algorithm. It's a great guy, and it could go with my sister if I had a sister. That's nice, Schlipper. Thank you. The algorithm, all hail the algorithm. We are all slaves to the algorithm. My dog, that's right. She's in the frame. That's Olive. Olive the cleanup dog. Thanks, Gary. You're cute. Now I've got a Tinkerbell behind me. Anyway. Oh, no! Larabelle doesn't have the video. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you're the only one. But Larabelle, if you're still with us, I hope you still have sound and audio. I will, I guess I'll be wrapping this up soon, but we'll see. Oh, the reflection is like that scene in Blade Runner. Exactly. Last night on crappy commercial television, they had Harrison Ford again as well. Oh, yeah, Gary and Schlipper, you guys would get along great. Yeah, enhance. Basically, Larabelle's back. That's great. So last night we were watching Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, 1984. Yeah. I remember how bad that movie was, but then when they showed it, just a clip in between extremely long commercial breaks on Net 5, I'm like, oh, that part was pretty fun. And it's still, it's Steven Spielberg, so. And and John Williams doing the score. So that was nice. And yeah, Blade Runner. It's funny how I guess the reflection and then enhance. That is kind of how we work nowadays with zooming in on photos from your phone. Anyway, Isaac says, Donald Trump has about 30 lawsuits in preparation against him. Would he care to comment on that? It's been a while since anyone has asked Trump to comment on anything. And isn't that lovely? That he's limited to his blog now. And if you read the blog, I mean, it's just the same shit that he was, splurting out on Twitter, but now it's just not limited to 280 characters. It's just so many times a day of the same rants. And anyway, 30 lawsuits. Yeah. So I guess I listened to this podcast the other day called Pod Save the World. Oh no, so Pod Save America. And there's also Pod Save the World, but that's about world news. Pod Save America is about, political news from the United States, hosted by these guys who used to work in the Obama White House. And I recommend it. Pretty good. They talked about 2024 and the presidential election. Will that election be stolen? And at this rate, yeah, pretty much. It shows, the Republicans have basically analyzed the 2020 election and figured out, let's not do that again. So they have changed the rules so that people who like voting Democratic can't vote so much. So anyway, well, then you got to put Donald Trump in prison. That's why there are like 30 lawsuits against him. And the twist from last week was that the civil case, which means that you would be liable for like monetary damages, has now changed to a criminal case, which means that you could be liable for financial penalties as well as jail time, prison time, and white collar, the best collar. So then the question became, can someone run for president from prison? There's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't. And so Pod Save America was talking about how, you could run for president from prison. Could you then be president from prison? And that is a question that we'll find out soon. Stay tuned for the next U.S. election, the best television show, best reality TV ever. All right. But yeah, DJT is very boring. I think you're right. And here I have to do a show called Leaving Trumpland on the 18th of June. And so we'll see. I'm coming up with more COVID-related stuff. I just heard that Bo Burnham has a whole new stand-up show that's all about COVID. And it's very real. It's very raw. It's very emotionally pure. It's very touching as well as being, funny. And I guess that's exactly the kind of show that I was considering committing to and convinced myself not to do, because my show as it is already has Trump in the title. Why date yourself? Why make your show obsolete by making it COVID related when everybody is ready to put COVID and the pandemic and the lockdown behind us? Anyway, enjoy Bo Burnham. It's supposed to be good. Here comes more questions. I had an error on the video when you were discussing negating false info. I thought the video was down. Oh, maybe that's just, maybe that's just false information. My video being flagged as potentially misleading. But yeah, while I'm on the subject, hey, algorithm, look at me teaching the difference between misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. You're supposed to be literate in all three. Misinformation is when you're spreading stuff that's just not true. Disinformation is when you're deliberately spreading misinformation that you know is not true. Malinformation is when you're inventing stories that are not true and then making it, spreading the disinformation and encouraging other people to spread the misinformation. Yeah. It has been suggested by this piece on NPR News that there are 12 people in the United States who are primarily responsible for over half of the vaccine misinformation on social media. So, Twitter, Facebook, they know who these guys are. Could shut them down, but they get so many likes. So, anyway, all right, here comes an actual question from Squall Kitty. Nice to have you. Hey, Greg, as a Dutch guy with an American friend who is considering move to the Netherlands within the coming 5 years, what's the best way to handle it? Wow. I'm an American who's been here for over 25 years. So the latest advice on how to relocate, move to the Netherlands, I'm not so much an expert on that right now. Within the next 5 years, I would say that, or as soon as possible. I would say that there are a couple people who deal with relocations really well. One of them is Lana Huff, and she deals with, it's called, I think, Amsterdam Mamas is her thing as well. I'll try to put it up in the comments afterward. But yeah, she's really doing a good job of trying to be a one-stop shop. Depending on which city or region you're moving to, I know there are a number of expat centers. There's the Amsterdam, in business, Amsterdam Center. Leiden has one. Den Haag, The Hague has one. Rotterdam has one. Eindhoven. And then there are regions like Zeeland. These guys are really good at streamlining all of the paperwork that is required when you're relocating. So they would, in theory, help you get your job permit, residence permit, and then everything else that you need as well, like insurance and they don't do housing, but they can hook you up with the best housing services. So, Expat Center and or Lana Huff, HUF. Start with that. Great. I hope that answers that question. Anyway, DJT, Donald Trump could take How to Be Interesting lessons in prison. I guess so. That's true. And you can run as the interesting version of you-know-who. I guess I could try to be more interesting. I thought I was more interesting. Are you ready for a 6G? That's what they call me, 6G, because I'm drinking my 6. Do you have comedy festivals in the Netherlands, like the Montreux? And have you been to the Montreux Festival? That's a great question, Larabelle. No, I have not been to the Montreux Festival. I would love to go to the Montreal Festival, which is called Just for Laughs. Let's get more dog in the frame. Yeah. I'd love to go to the Just for Laughs Festival. That is a festival that is invite only. And I asked my previous management, could you get me into the Just for Laughs Festival? It's invite only. And they said, oh, yeah. And at first they said, we'll get back to you. And then they said, yeah, we don't think you're ready. And I was like, really? And then they admitted the truth. Yeah, we can't do that. So I fired them. Now I have no management, and I feel way better. Still not getting into the Montreal Comedy Festival, but anyway. Oh, look, we've got feet behind us as well. Dancing feet. Yeah. What's up, Olive? What do you think? Yeah? Now my fingers, I can't use this finger anymore because it's got dog germs on it. But anyway, I'm heading up to 30 minutes on the old screen here, so maybe I will wrap it up. Interesting, right? Oh, great. Yeah, sure. How's a foreigner, if you like? But it is helpful to have a job of some kind before you come over to the Netherlands. That is true. All right. So my dog and I are going to go pick up some more garbage, and I'll share that video next. All 12 was Sputnik V. I guess, sure, if they give me Sputnik, then that's great. She is cute, and she's very well trained as well to pick up plastic bottles and help clean up the streets and recycle. So Anyway, yeah, if anybody has any connections to the old Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, let me know. I don't think I'll be making it this year for July. I don't even know if it's happening this year in July. Probably not. Maybe the Olympics will be called off at this point. Who knows? But that gives me a whole year to develop enough non-Dutch specific material. And yeah, like I've told other people in the past, do the work. So I guess I'm going to do that myself. Anyway, yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I've hit my 30-minute mark, so I will sign off for this week. I'm going to go put some food on my family. Love you guys. Have a great summery day.